The ROG Phone 2 is finally here, the successor to my favourite gaming smartphone of all time, and of course I've been putting it through its paces with lots of PubG Mobile action. Not only does this thing boast incredible performance, fantastic battery life and some great gaming features, but it's also well supported by a strong selection of gaming accessories as well. So if you're a PubG Mobile addict, then here's all you need to know about the ROG Phone 2 and why it is the essential device for you. And for more on the latest greatest mobile tech, please do plug subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now first up, if you want a general look at the specs and hardware of the ROG Phone 2, then go check out my unboxing and hands-on tour. That'll tell you all you need to know. But right now we're going to concentrate on the sexy gaming side of things. Now first up, when you're ready to dive into a bit of gaming action, you want to dive into the Armory Crate. This is the ROG Phone 2's Gaming Hub, basically acts as a general gaming UI. As you can see, this gives you fast access to all of your favourite titles, and you can also set up game profiles for each individual game as well. So for instance, you can dedicate a set amount of GPU towards that title, set the temperature control as well, so if you're the ROG Phone 2 is going to get all hot and sweaty and bothered, you can set that all the way up to high. The ROG Phone 2 also supports a 120Hz display. You can actually set the refresh rate manually here inside of the game profiles. So as you can see, I've just ticked it as system right now. The default is 60, but you can boost it all the way up to 124 supported titles. And that level of customization goes all the way into screen sensitivity as well. You get 240Hz touch sampling rate here on the ROG Phone 2, so it's super responsive to all of your pokes and swipes. And as you can see there, you can actually set the sensitivity levels to suit. And when you get it all set up just the way you like it, it's time to hit that big fat launch button and get some PUBG action on the go. Now when you're actually in a game of PUBG Mobile, you can pull out the Game Genie feature. What this basically does is it's a lot of fast toggles to a lot of essential features, such as for instance no alerts and no calls. If you want absolutely zero distractions while you're playing, definitely recommend toggling both of those. Lock brightness is also a winner, just to make sure the screen doesn't go super dim when you really don't want it to. You can see there, you can actually toggle the brightness directly from the Game Genie feature as well. As you can see here, you also get a frame rate readout as well as a temperature readout, and it basically shows you how much memory has been used and everything as well. So if you want a fast, easy idea of how much resources are being consumed, you can see them right there. If you do find that your game is struggling a bit, you can hit the speed up toggle, and what this does is it basically just clears the memory, makes sure that all of your resources are dedicated towards that game. But to be honest, PUBG Mobile, I've not had any issues with that whatsoever. You can also get all of that resource information direct on your display by tapping real-time info. As you can see there, it then just appears at the bottom of the screen. Go and use it if you're a bit of a stats nerd. One of the other great features is, of course, the record feature. This actually allows you to record all of your gaming session. And as you can see, you can take a screenshot at any time. And if you dive into the settings, you can set the resolution, the quality level, and more importantly, how you record the audio. Do you record just the internal game audio, or do you record using the quad mic system, so you can actually provide a bit of commentary while you're playing? So a very strong recording feature there, lots of great options. Now packed inside the Asus ROG Phone 2, you will find the Snapdragon 855 Plus chipset. This is Qualcomm's latest flagship platform, adding the fresh Adreno 640 GPU clocked at 675 MHz. In simple terms, this offers up a 4% CPU performance boost and a 15% graphical performance boost over the standard Snapdragon 855, which, to be fair, is already pretty damn solid. In benchmarking tests, the ROG Phone 2 frankly destroys the competition. As you can see there, an absolutely immense score defeated 99% of other smartphones for the CPU and the GPU performance. Absolutely incredible. Now let's see how the ROG Phone 2 handled a bit of PUBG Mobile action. I slapped on some GameBench, a nice benchmarking software for smartphones, and I found that PUBG Mobile absolutely blazed on the ROG Phone 2, no problems. The frame rate held at a very steady 30 frames per second for an entire almost 40-minute game with no noticeable drops. GameBench reported a 96% frame rate stability. The only actual drops reported were actually when I was adjusting settings using that Game Genie feature. So for instance, changing up the air trigger mapping. So in fact, during the actual game, it was 100% stable at that 30 FPS level. PUBG never used more than 8 to 9% of the ROG Phone 2's processing power either, and besides one freak spike at 66%, this phone's total CPU usage never really got above 20% even during the midst of a really intense PUBG Mobile session. And there's even better news for PUBG Mobile addicts when it comes to the battery life as well. The ROG Phone 2 packs a mighty 6000 mAh cell. I found that the battery charge ticked down precisely 12% for every non-stop hour of PUBG action using the battery, so that gives you 8 to 9 hours in total battle from a full battery charge. Very impressive stuff indeed, and something that can't be rivaled by most other gaming handsets. And if 8 to 9 hours of PUBG action still isn't enough for you in one day, then don't worry, you can slap on the AeroActive accessory that you get bundled with the ROG Phone 2. Just slides it into that handy little side port like so. You'll know when it's in place because it'll light up. And what this does is it just shifts the Type-C charging port down to a more convenient position here on the edge of the phone. So now we can get our cable and just plug in like so. And as you can see, the ROG Phone 2 is now charging up. You don't have cables jutting into your palms to make the whole gaming experience really inconvenient. Now, if you are into your all-day PUBG Mobile gaming sessions, then don't worry about the ROG Phone 2 as far as heat dissipation goes. This thing boasts proper thermal cooling with a 3D vapor chamber stuck away there inside, alongside a heat sink and vents, all cleverly positioned to get all that hot air out of there. And as you can see here, you even get an external vent as well, just to help blast out the worst of that air too. I found that even after a full hour of gaming, the ROG Phone 2 remained impressively cool. It was only just starting to get a little bit warmer around the back, with most of the heat being concentrated around that external vent area. And the good news is as well, even if you're gaming while charging the smartphone at the same time, that AeroActive coolant accessory will help to remove that heat as well. And I found that even with a couple of hours of gaming while charging at the same time, the phone does not get hot at all, and that is of course using the resource monitoring. Because as far as the visuals go, well, the ROG Phone 2's screen is absolutely stunning. It's a near 6.6-inch AMOLED panel, so as you can see they're nice and punchy. Full HD resolution keeps everything nice and crisp, and of course you play it on the high detail levels, because why wouldn't you? If you dive into the graphical settings, you can even set it to HDR graphics, because you've got full 10-bit HDR support here on the ROG Phone 2. It can even upscale SDR images to near HDR level as well. And as I mentioned before, you've got that 240Hz touch sampling rate, so basically every time you touch the display, you'll notice a reaction instantly. Tap the aim icon and boom, straight up, crouch, uncrouch, crouch, uncrouch. No complaints on the audio front either. The ROG Phone 2 boasts a stereo speaker setup. Both of those speakers are actually aimed towards your face, so you get a full proper stereo effect. And on that top volume level as well, it's super powerful. Listen to this. Oh yeah, you'll be feeling that. And one thing's for sure, you'll definitely hear any crafty little sods creeping up on you. Of course, you do actually have a 3.5mm headphone jack here on the right edge as well. And of course, if you're using that AeroActive accessory, then that'll shift the headphone jack down to the bottom edge. So again, you can use it very comfortably while playing the game. Oh, sounds like a plane's flying overhead. And great news if you're playing a bit of co-op PUBG Mobile as well, because you can use the in-game chat, and of course you've got a quad mic set up, so your voice will be picked up very cleanly indeed. So you've got one mic here on the left edge, one up top on there, and two here on the right edge. So it's also good, of course, if you're providing a bit of in-game commentary, if you're going to be playing some PUBG Mobile and then posting it up on the YouTubes. Some little bastard is shooting me. No more of you, sir. Come on, man, this is just rude. I'm just trying to demonstrate the game. As you will have seen me demonstrate just there as well, I'm a big fan of the air triggers here on the ROG Phone 2 as well. They're more advanced than the original air triggers found on the first ROG Phone. You can set them up quick and easy. All you gotta do is pull out the Game Genie, tap this air trigger icon. As you'll see there, they are active now for PUBG Mobile. All you've got to do is drag the corresponding icon onto the part of the screen that you want them to activate. So oh, hang on. Oh no. Again, more good demonstration of the air triggers there. They're very, very responsive, as you can see. Just a quick tap and immediately you get a response. You get a nice bit of haptic feedback as well, which again is instant, unlike the original ROG Phone. So it does actually feel like you're kind of pressing an actual trigger. And you can actually set up the pressure sensitivity of the air triggers as well from within the Armory crate. So you can get them just set up just how you like them. Of course, the air triggers are no real substitute for a proper gamepad, but you know what, if you don't have a gamepad, they will definitely do the job. It makes gameplay an awful lot less hand crampy. And speaking of gamepads, if you're going to be playing a lot of PUBG, I highly recommend picking up the Asus ROG Kunai gamepad. Now this is a great little accessory and definitely the best one that's available for the ROG Phone 2. You can actually use it as a standard Bluetooth controller like so, but my preferred method is to actually slide out these two little controllers here and attach them directly to the ROG Phone 2. Now first up, what you'll need to do is attach the Kunai bumper. So the ROG Phone 2 just slides in like so, it just connects via the Type-C USB port. Oh, it's a bit of a tight fit, just squeeze it on in there. And just peel off these little side bits, and then basically you slide in a controller sections like so. So it's just like the Joy-Cons on the Nintendo Switch. Ta-da! Clever stuff. Now with these two connected, as you can see, all you need to do is pull out the Game Genie panel, and there is an extra bonus icon there now, key mapping. Let's pull that one out. Now we can get busy mapping all of the various controls. So for instance, arrow keys, we can get those set to the precise D-pad on screen here on PubG Mobile. And as you tap each of the buttons, you'll notice that it appears here on screen. So for instance, that R button we can then map to, let's go for reload. B button can be used to perform a nice bit of medical assistance. And of course, you've got dual triggers on both the left and the right shoulders as well. Each of those can be mapped to something. So you've got lots and lots of control for basically all of your PUBG actions. Now, as you can see, you can use those physical controls for absolutely precise input. You don't have to worry about those touch controls at all. And of course, you can map those buttons to do exactly what you want them to do. I think I'm about to get screwed because this guy's about to grab a gun. Die! Die, you git. Oh, this is ridiculous. Oh, yeah, it doesn't really help with moments like that, unfortunately. So as you can see, the ROG Phone 2 is basically the ultimate PUBG Mobile gaming device. Fantastic performance, amazing battery life, and fantastic gaming features thrown in there as well to really give you the edge over the competition, as long as you're not trying to punch them to death. So let us know what you think of the ROG Phone 2 down below in the comments. It's not cheap by any means, €1,200 it's going to cost just for the phone. But at least you get the likes of the AeroActive accessory thrown in, and just for a few bucks more, of course, you can get a few other gaming accessories that again will really help out. Please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a lovely week, people. Love you.